Hi everybody, I'm Michael. I'm a landscape architect and environmentalist, and today we're going to talk about the pink silver wax plant. So, you ready to dig in? Let's grow! The pink silver wax plant goes by the botanical name Hoya pubicalyx, and that's this baby right here, as well as this one. It is a trailing succulent vine. It's a tropical vine, and it's native to the Philippines. It is very well adapted to growing indoors. And I want to talk a little bit about the plant characteristics. These are two of ours that we have in our home, and we also have a Hoya tricolor here, just so you get an understanding. And I'll get back to that plant in a minute. This plant has a beautiful flower, and ours right here, the newer one we have in our home, is already shot out of peduncle and has these flowers coming out, which are beautiful. They're these lavender to pink. These will develop pink centers, and it's almost like you have a bridal bouquet in your hand. It is very similar. The flower on Hoyas are, to be celebrated, because they don't always happen, because this is a slow growing plant, typically Hoyas in general. This one tends to be a little bit more of a moderate to fast grower, which is a cool thing, which you can see by all the tendrils here. But it kind of depends on where you place them in your home. But on the flowering, let me talk about the Hoya tricolor. You may recall we did a video just a month ago when this baby was flowering, and she's just finished, and right back off that same peduncle, she's started to flower again. And we'll do some zooming in so you can see these up close. But they're very similar. I wanted to show this as a comparison because the tricolor's flower cluster, her bouquet, very similar in her start of her flowering to the pink silver. The pink silver has a little bit larger flower bouquet, but they both have, to me, very similar ultimate flower arrangement. So I think it's really cool how some of the species have similarities among them, and I just wanted to share that with you. The characteristic of this, as you can see, is a trailing vine. So they will send out these tendrils. Her sister here been just sort of chugging along. We're seeing the development of a peduncle over here, but it's just taking her sweet time. And that's okay. Each one's different. I really dig in like this dark green and the speckling on her. But this one's nice, the light green. This, I want to say this is more like British racing green. This is more like a grass green color to her leaves. And again, like I said, we'll zoom in so you can see this in a picture of the leaves up close. This one has been grown a little bit in a more indirect light further back into the living room, and so her leaves a little bit darker. You can see there's a little bit brighter green, and this is a little bit darker green. They will be, depending on where you place them in your home, this is what color you can expect for your Hoya. Since this one is getting a little bit more light, that's probably why we thought this one bloomed quicker than the one with more indirect light. It's just a really cool plant. We are crazy for Hoyas. You can see we've had a few videos on Hoyas in general, and we're just thrilled about what our tricolor has done with flowering again. And this one is not grown in soil, it's grown in leca, and it is taken off. It's just such a cool vine. On plant care, your Hoyas are going to want medium light to high light, and medium light is going to be around 150 foot candles to 500 foot candles, and high light is going to be north of 500 foot candles. But we do not recommend giving them any morning light or a little bit of pockets of light. Some folks are recommending that, and I feel that may be a risk that you'll take. It may encourage more blooms, but it may also scorch your leaves and set your plant back. So the brighter the light, going up to highlight 500 foot candles, meaning you're a few feet from a west facing or a south facing window, but with an overhang, so you don't get any direct light. Your plant's going to do very well, which this baby has. But they'll also do well in a part of your home if you have a home with not a lot of windows and we wanted to put her in an area to get some, to add some color in our living room further away from the window. And she's still doing fine. She's just growing at a more moderate rate. So for your Hoya on their soil, you want a well-drained mix. It can be a cactus mix or an indoor potting mix with perlite. And make sure that you don't try to add too many organics into that to make it too heavy, because then the plant can suffer. It wants a well-drained mix. So on lighting, we talked about that. On soil, we talked about a well-drained mix, and now we're going to rotate into watering. Your Hoyas, these Hoyas can be watered every 7 to 9 days during the summertime. You can throttle back in the winter a little bit to like every 7 days, 6-7 days. But you want to make sure you water well and it drains through. But check the top 2 inches the next week to see if it's dried out. If it hasn't, you can wait a little bit. You know, and I recommend it, and I've done this in other videos, the 2-knuckle method. You put your finger in down to 2 inches and you want to see. And if you're coming back with this one here is a little wet, you can see that it's still ready it's still not ready to be watered. And that's for the soil type. For those grown in leca, please refer back to our videos. We've done a few videos on growing plants in leca and a Hoya in leca, because that is a soilless medium, and it has its own water source because there's a water reservoir in there. And I know it's a little crazy because the succulent typically doesn't want water, but these things are grown close to a water table inside the bottom of that container in this pebble medium. So, but you can see they adapt. The roots adapt to those types of medium, and they'll grow fine in both, and flower in both different types of growing mediums. For fertilizing your pubicalyx, you want to make sure that you water just through the summer months, which is the flowering months for these plants. These plants tend to want to flower from like April through September in the summer months. And you want to add your watering mix and then add it to the plants through those months, and she should respond very well. For temperature in your home, it's typical of a home AC. If your home is air conditioned, anywhere from 68 to 80 degrees, they'll do fine. Humidity, this Hoya likes a little bit higher humidity, normally like 70%, being a tropical succulent. But Hoyas, and our experience has been many of them that we have in our home, are well suited to typical homes with air conditioning, which will dehumidify your home, and that will keep your humidity somewhere in the range of 35 to 40%. These Hoyas do fine. We do mist once in a while, but it's not really necessary, we feel. So on pests, the last thing I wanted to touch base on the Hoyas and Hoyas in general, mealybugs. You got to watch out for mealybugs. They are, I think the tricolor is probably the biggest magnet we've found for mealybugs. We've been blessed on these. We haven't had any mealybugs attack our pink silvers. So we're very lucky with that. But be aware that you got to get on top of mealybugs. And with the Hoyas, all these little nodes and where the new leaves come out, that the mealybugs will get stuck in there, and it's hard to get them with the Q-tip with alcohol and stuff. So we've done some videos actually on what mentioned how you can do a dunk if you need to, if your Hoya is overrun. But it's best to get on top of them and use neem oil as a preventive. You could do a spray of neem oil once a month just to make sure that if there's some that had come in there. And typically what happens in a home is that you bring a new plant home and you think it's pest free, and then it has a bug or two, and then it transfers, and the Hoyas tend to be the ones that can just cause an explosion of mealybug populations. They can get aphids and I think spider mites, but it's mostly the mealybugs that bother these poor guys. Now what I'm going to do is cut away to the written care instructions, where you'll get more in-depth information about how to care for your Hoyas, because I think just a few minutes ago when I was mentioning about the plant watering, I think I got it all turned around for you. So in the written care instructions, you'll have it out there, but to restate that, you want to water these in the summer months or from the spring through to the fall, April through September, every 7 to 9 days. And then I think I said throttle back to 6 days. No, in the winter. No, in the wintertime, you want to water them every 9 to 11 days, but always, again, check with the two knuckle method that we've talked about, sticking your finger in the soil. That's always your best guide. And plants being closer to a window probably need a little bit more water than those that are further away. So what we'll do is we'll cut away, like I said, to the written care instructions, and then we'll come back and do a summary at the end. All right, let's go to that step. It's just a really, really cool vine, and it's got this funky habit. You can train it like we did here with the bamboo hoop, or you can let it go funky and wild like this one that we have up over here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, please just leave it in the comment box below. And if you like the value you're getting from some of our videos, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're posting weekly. We're trying to get as many videos as we can out about how to take care of plants for inside your home as well as outside your home, and in things in general, globally, about the green environment. So until next time, bye.
If you found value in this video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We post weekly. Thanks.